Hello, everyone. Today I'm Zooming to Woodland downtown, where I'm going to be introducing Christy Hayes. She is the owner of Mojo's Lounge and Kitchen 428. Welcome, Christy.
Hi.
So,
Thank you.
you bet. When we scheduled this interview, we had no idea that this would be the day restaurants are allowed to be open. So can you talk through what your current status is?
So right now we weren't really given all of the directives and kind of new guidelines that we needed to follow until yesterday. We were given a lot of them, but there's still some fine tuning that we have to do. A lot of it's paperwork side as well as training our staff, and getting the word out to customers about how this is going to look like for the next few months to possibly a year for dining. A lot of the changes that we are trying to deal with is the social distancing. So moving tables around. I've bought some new booths to bring in booths, to build walls for partitions, as well as plexiglass to keep our staff behind, to minimize kind of guest complete interaction, which is kind of weird in customer service, to be like, how can I shut out the customer as much as possible? So it's just kind of like we're having to change our mindset about this whole situation, as well as like the flow of the restaurant. And we're still going to have a lot of takeout orders because not everyone can come out yet, but people still do like enjoying not cooking. So how do we incorporate that all together to make sure that neither one of the takeout nor the dine-in person's guest experience is hindered by too much volume either way. So it's just a lot of moving parts and training and figuring out what we're gonna do and stuff. One of the new key things that we do have to do, which is completely new in the restaurant industry, is taking everyone's temperature and doing a health assessment when they come in the door to come to work. So that's a new thing for us, and kind of figuring all that out and what we need for that.
Just to clarify, you were saying you're taking everyone's temperature, being your employees, is that right?
Yeah, the employee temperature.
Okay. Yeah. Since the crisis hit in March, what has happened to your profits?
So we are down probably about 70 to 65% in sales. So we're looking at about 30% of what we used to do.
Christy is dealing with business. I'm just going to go on and say that their website is still operational for what they offer currently with curbside and takeout and all of that. And I also am going to, when she comes back, ask Christy about their wine, which I noticed the prices look like wholesale prices to me, and I believe she's back. Christy, can you comment?
Yeah. Hi, sorry about that.
Nope.
We're still a working restaurant now.
Yes.
So you were asking about the wines. When this whole crisis started, on every given month, we have about $10,000 in inventory in wine, beer, liquor, just for our weekly sales and revenue and guests. And so when everything stopped and no one was dining in, basically that all became money just sitting on the shelf that we needed to free up. So to do that, we slashed our prices. ABC allowed us to start selling cocktails to go, which helped drive food sales and help get a lot of that off our shelves. So that's why you still see the prices for half off. I'm going to be winding my wine list down, because I think for the next year, it's going to be a much different kind of dining experience. And so I don't need as robust of a wine list as I normally had. So you'll see that shrinking, and I've been able to get a lot of it off the shelf. Most of it has been, for sale at basically my cost. But again, it's better to have that money flowing in the banks than sitting on a shelf gathering dust, literally.
So we talk about face coverings. I notice a lot of social media commentary. People are very confused about the requirement to wear face coverings in restaurants. How does one eat? And I think rather than rely on, news conferences by politicians, sometimes it's helpful just to hear what your implementation of that is going to be and what your interpretation of the guidelines are. So can you describe the dining experience with face coverings?
Yeah, so Yolo County is a lot different from a lot of the other counties in California, and up here in Northern California, because they don't require the face coverings. So Yolo County has required that everyone that is going to restaurants, grocery stores, or out in public retail shopping needs to wear a face covering when traveling into the restaurant, through the restaurant. Once they get to their tables, it is safe for them to take it off if they feel comfortable. And some might not until they get their food and ready to eat, and that's perfectly fine as well. And then we just ask that if you're waiting for your tables, that you wait outside in your car, and make reservations so that we can schedule everything to keep everyone spaced out as much as possible. Also, if you're at your table and you need to get up and go to the restroom, you are required to also put your face mask on. I think our biggest challenge of this is going to be making sure that customers actually do it. The health department isn't going to come in and fine the guest for not wearing the face mask properly or at the proper times. They're going to come in and fine the and so that's kind of.
I'm sorry, my dog is barking. This is live here. You know, you just can't beat these days trying to work from home. All right, we'll just see if we can get through this. So on community support, what do you need from your community to get through these times?
Again, if you're, unable to come out to eat because maybe you're a senior, you're in the immunocompromised class, is to please continue to eat out at any restaurant, anywhere, like once a week. That helps us out tremendously, to still have that coming through. If you are coming out, you're going to be dining out, please be patient with us. We're learning a whole new process. We're going to be on a pretty skeleton crew just because of cash flow. And so we're trying to do more with less people, while trying to balance all these different rules and regulations, which we then need to enforce. Besides the face mask rule and law basically passed down to us, another one is people are not going to be able to come into the bar anymore just to hang out and have a drink. All alcohol sales now need to be combined with a food purchase sale for a bona fide meal. And I think that's going to be a hard concept for everyone to change, because, I enjoy hanging out in bars and getting a couple cocktails, happy hour, and hanging out with friends. But unfortunately for now, that is not allowed.
Okay.
It's going to be able to challenges. So please be patient with us and understand we don't make these rules up.
Yeah, I really appreciate that point, because as I talk to small business owners, they really are eager to serve the community, but they can only do so if you feel safe. And that's the question I wanted to ask you. Do you feel safe proceeding?
Right now, not so much. I think that, we did a good job of flattening the curve and staying inside, but a lot of people have gotten really restless and have started traveling to other counties who are slowly opening up. So I'm going to kick back a little bit and kind of try and just keep my staff and our guests in mind as we slowly open up. And we'll be opening up in phases as well. So, the county may have gone into phase 2.5 or wherever we are, but now Mojo's is now in phase 1.5. So little by little, we'll be opening up and just kind of doing it with safety in mind for my employees as well as the guests.
Is that a day-to-day decision for you? Do you have a day in mind?
I'm trying to look ahead about 1 week ahead and kind of plan for that. So I'm hoping to have a takeout patio dining available, as well as sidewalk dining available within the next week. And then once we get that open, then I'll kind of reevaluate and be like, okay, so now how do I best schedule everything? What kind of different stuff do I need to bring in as far as furniture, as far as computer stuff and online ordering and things like that. So this whole thing has been a complete shift and change of what our original business plan was and our how we were set up. So just, week by week is how I take it.
On a daily basis. So the last question I wanted to ask you is, you are well known for supporting your community, and that's one of the most inspiring things I've seen in this pandemic is small businesses always giving back. Can you describe some of the things you've done?
Yeah, so actually straight off the bat, I started working together with the Dinner on Main Street, Linda Hennigan. She had this great idea that she wanted to help keep the restaurants working and also help feed people in Yolo County. So she started this program called Yolo Delivers Hope. And a lot of us restaurants, I think there was like 12 all involved, who have helped out in Dinner on Main Street in the past. And we were involved with cooking meals, ready to heat and eat meals for 400 to 500 seniors a week in Woodland. And it kind of rotated through all of us. But so that helped keep us busy, keep us going. You know, we all just want to work and make food. It's hard to just sit by and hang out. So and then also I wanted to kind of piggyback on that and work with veterans. So I partnered with the American Legion, who is my next door neighbor, to create a program called Feed Our Woodland Vets. And so it's actually now I have my first board meeting tonight to create a nonprofit to make it actually a legit nonprofit for Woodland to continue on. But we were making and delivering meals ready to heat and eat for 30 seniors each week. So once a week on Tuesdays, we deliver through volunteers to different veteran seniors. And the American Legion has helped deliver as well as identify senior veterans who might be in need. And it's not necessarily like a food insecurity, but it's more of like here's a little help to keep you inside. It comes with 4 portions of food for lunch or dinner. And so it's one less trip you have to make to the grocery store. It's one less meal you have to think about cooking, or 2 less meals think about cooking, as well as it's nutritious and delicious. So that's been a fun program to do. One of my things that I really like to do is I like to do community events and community service and stuff like that. And so that kind of helped motivate me through this whole situation. So a little light at the end of our tunnel that was good.
It's a big light, actually. I just want to really congratulate you for that effort, because one of the things I'm aware of is that veterans are in particular risk right now. As you said, it might not be a food insecurity issue. It could well be a mental health challenge. They're vulnerable, being isolated, and that delivery of the meal is a human connection that really can't be described well enough by my words. But anyway, I thank you so much for your resilience and for joining me today of all days, and for dealing with this little one who I think just wants some leftovers. If you're still with me, I was just talking to Christy Hayes. She's the owner of Mojo's Lounge and Kitchen 428 in Woodland. Normally I do not edit these, but today we had some unusual challenges, both Christy and I. So that just goes to show how hard it is to work through these challenging times. I appreciate you joining me every day and encourage you to support her restaurant.